Sanavatu Sanonaktu Saviryam Karavavai Dasyanavaditamastu Ma Viddushavai Om Shanti Shanti. Okay, now please chant these verses, a few of these, we shall start again. That last verse of the 16th chapter, you please chant, then we go on 17. Haro yadi upadeshtate Hari kamalajo piva Tathapi natava swasthyam Sarvam Vismarana Brute. Go to chapter 17 first. Tena jnana phalam praptam Yoga abhyasa phalam tatha Trupta swachendriyo nityam Ekaki ramate tuyah Nakadachi jagat yasmin Tattvajño hanta khidyati Yeta ekena yente nedam Purnam brahmanda mandalam Nakadachi jagat yasmin Tattvajño hanta khidyati Yata ekena te nedam Purnam brahmanda mandalam. As we've been seeing and saw it yesterday, these verses are the ultimate. After this there is really nothing. In fact, not that after these verses there is nothing. After you understand these things and be yourself, after that there is nothing. To say after this book there is no other book, or after that book there is no other book, or after this practice there is no other practice, that's a different thing. After this understanding of yourself, there is nothing more remains to be understood. That is why Upanishads will declare so beautifully. When the student goes to the teacher and asks, Kasmin manu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. O Lord, please teach me by knowing which nothing else remains to be known. Everything is as well known. Or as Bhagavad Gita will say, Yallabdha chaparam labham nadikam manyate tatah. Having gained which, after that, there is no further gain in life. In other words, after losing which, there is no further loss in life. When you lose your ignorance and lose your individuality, thereafter nothing else remains to be lost. Right or wrong? The loser himself is lost. How you understand? When the loser is lost, what more can he lose? Because the loser himself is lost. So there is no more sense of loss. The gainer is lost. The individuality itself is gone. So there is no question of your sense of loss or gain. That is why even when the thoughts are appearing, the creation is existing, they call it vadhita. Vadhita means it is totally counteracted, like dagdha vijavat, like a roasted seed, fried seed. The roasted seed looks like a seed, but it will not germinate. You put a pumpkin seed, it will grow, another pumpkin will come. But the roasted pumpkin seed, groundnut you put, another one little plant will come. But if you have a roasted groundnut, if your thoughts existence, your knowledge, your individuality is roasted in this fire of knowledge, there is no more any further germination. Therefore, if you say, it will come later on, we will see that if even for a moment if you say, I have a problem, forget it. You have just not understood it. You cannot say that. It's a situation. Yes. Problem? No. Listen carefully. Mullah knew it very well, very good. Mullah knew it very well. One day, one fellow from that village goes to the restaurant. One restaurant, and he asks for an egg. So the person gives him a boiled egg. And after the person finished his boiled egg breakfast, the owner gives him a hefty bill, some 500 rupees for one egg. Then naturally, he created a racket. He said, how can you ask for one stupid little boiled egg, 500 rupees? You are trying to cheat me out. He said, no. You should be grateful to me that I charge only 500 and not 500,000. He said, why? Imagine if I would not have boiled this egg, it would have given you a chicken. Chicken would have given 20 more eggs, 20 more chicken, each one 20, 400 chicken, each one 20, 8,000. You understand? I would have got 5 crores. 5 million I would have got. Feel grateful, I am asking you for 500 rupees. The person didn't know what to say. So he goes to Mullah. Because Mullah is the judge. He goes to Mullah. He said, definitely he has cheated me, but the way he talks, I cannot say anything to him. Mullah said, okay, you call him next day to my house. So Mullah is the judge, so they both come to the house. Mullah does all the judgment in the house itself. So when both of them came, the Mullah was that time boiling some corn, makai, okay, corn. He was boiling some corn. So when both of them stood there, came there, Mullah, right in presence of them, brought out the boiled corn from the pot, and then he had already prepared a ground and he started planting those corn. And very religiously, with a lot of ceremony, planting, each one is planting. Delaying, and these fellows are restless. Especially restaurant fellow is restless because he doesn't want to waste his time looking at his fancy cultivation. So he said, Mullah, what are you doing? He said, what do you mean, what am I doing? Don't you see? I am planting the corn. He says, yes, you are planting the corn. But where on earth, from a boiled corn, where tree, one plant will come? He said, judgment given. Where on earth from a boiled egg you can get chicken? You did not boil for him, you had already boiled the egg. So boiled egg will not give you chicken and chicken and chicken. So shut up. Are you getting that? So if your truth, if your individuality, your thoughts, your perceptions are boiled in the fire of wisdom, and still thereafter you say, I have a little problem. Yes, we know what type of boiling is that. Pepper boiling. It's a picture. It's not truth for yourself. This is the wisdom. That is your self. Where you are no more holding on to a teacher or even the teaching. And as I told you yesterday, it is not therefore I start with dropping the teacher, dropping the teaching. I drop myself first. When I drop out, teachers drop out, students drop out, teachings drop out, creation drops out, God drops out. God is not a problem. Remember those first classes. God is not a mystery. God is not a problem. God is not a crisis. Creation is not a puzzle. Creation is not a mystery. Creation is not a crisis. Your body is not a puzzle. Your body is not a crisis. Your thoughts are not a puzzle, your thoughts are not a crisis. In your presence, everything has become a puzzle and a crisis. Right or wrong? The child, the baby, just now I saw one baby, so sweet, absolutely glorious, so cute, Smile, pure smile. No anger, no hatred, nothing, pure flower, more beautiful than this flower. Because this flower, how much I tickle it, is it laughing? It is laughing? No, but that one, you put a little, smiles. Human being, Think. A child, so beautiful, responding. But there is no individuality. Therefore, nothing is a mystery, nothing is a load, nothing is a burden in life. Absolutely nothing is a burden in life. The same child, the same baby, everybody, all of us were like babies. We grew up. Remember your childhood, 5 years, 10 years, you are absolutely no sense of success, failure, rich, poor, powerful, weak, none of these considerations are there. Just wild things. But the moment the individuality comes in, all this sense of high, low, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, God, all this stuff, creation, God, creator, so many things are pushed into the head. Naturally, everything becomes a mystery, everything becomes a puzzle, because I am a puzzle to myself. Therefore, to get out of this sense of puzzle, I don't have to remove the creation, creator, teacher, teaching, nothing. I must drop out. See how sweet it is, how easy it is. Imagine if the whole creation has to be dropped, then only I'll understand myself. Can you? It will be like the endless story of that ant. You know that. The king was crazy and he wanted to listen a never-ending story. Now can anybody tell a never-ending story? But he is crazy. That's what kings are all about. They can afford to have their eccentricity. So the king said, I want to listen to a never-ending story. Now how many storytellers can do that? And the moment the story ends, the fellow will be beheaded. The storytellers in the kingdom disappeared slowly, because nobody can continue the story, so they were cut, they were beheaded. One smart fellow said, I am going to go there. Everybody said, don't go, you will also be beheaded. He said, don't worry. He goes there and he starts the story with a flourish, as they say, long, long ago, there was a king, yes, and he had a huge kingdom. Took out the story short for me. Yeah? Once there was a huge famine in that kingdom, and the king was very perceptive. He knew in case of famine, in case of flood, there shall be shortage of food grain. So he had created huge storages, and packed it up with thousands of tons of food grains. Everybody was very happy, including the ants. Because when there was a famine all over, everybody was starving, even little insects also will starve. But these group of ants, they found that huge storage, thousands of tons of paddy. So they went inside. The one ant goes in, brings a grain of paddy and comes out. Then he stops. The king says, okay, then what happened? Another ant goes, brings the paddy and comes out. Then what happened? Another ant goes, brings a paddy and comes out. All right, then what happened? Another ant goes, brings a paddy and comes out. The king now got very wild now. What is this ant going and bringing, sir? He says, until the paddy is over from that place, the story cannot move. For the idiotic king, this idiotic story, is so nice. Because the story must, until the paddy from thousands of tons of paddy has taken away from that storage, the story cannot, there is no next move. What do you do? Think of it. Understand? It's never ending. All because, why is it so? Please think, why is it so? Because there is only one individuality. If for that there is a puzzle. For him there is a puzzle. If the individuality is not there, there is no mystery, there is no puzzle. How nice it is that you have to remove, suppose you have to remove every word, dismiss every part of this creation, like the ants have to remove every bit of the grain, then only the next move. Think. Everything drops, then only I will know myself. Huh? No, nothing needs to be dropped. How beautiful. Creation remains as it is, body remains as it is, thoughts remain as it is. Individuality, I thought. That is why he says, beautifully he says, Haro yadi upadashtate, Hari kamalajo piva. Your teacher can be Vishnu himself, Shiva himself, Brahma himself. Still, tavana swasthyam. Swasthyam means what? Swasthyam means not health. In vernacular language, swasthyam means swastha rakshayana, swasthyam means health. No. Tishtati iti stha. Swasmin tishtati iti swastha. Tasya bhavam. One who abides in himself. Swasmin tishtati. One who is always with himself. What is always with myself? All right. If you don't understand, ask this question to yourself. Please tell me. Any time, morning when you wake up, first thing you question yourself, where are you? Physically, friends, you may be in your home, but where are you? Your mind is in your office, on a trip, on a problem, on something, the past, present or future, every time. All the time the person jumps into the past or present or past or into the future, completely jumping into, where are you? Are you with yourself? Or are you with a problem, with a memory, with a thought, with a perception? All the time people are with something. I'm with my family, or I'm with my house, my husband, my wife, my child, my friend, or my disease, or my worry, my anxiety. How many people are with themselves? Are you getting that point, please? How many people are with themselves? You have an anxiety and you are anxious. You have a problem and you are problematic. You have a body, you have some disease, but you feel diseased. How many people feel immortal? Absolutely happy with themselves. So where are you? If I can draw a picture, just think of it. If I can, shall I just draw? Just look. There is a pen there. Just look at it. Just 1 minute. You just see that? Very simple. Let us see. This is the creation. Just think of it. This is the creation. Okay? Creation. Now in that creation, you have got a body. So let's say this is your body. Just see the pictorial presentation, you can grasp it right away. This is the creation. Then there is a body. In the body, there are sense organs, eyes and other things, sense organs. Through the sense organs, you have got a mind there. Minds are there. Then there is an I thought, which is doing with everything. Then here, the thoughts are not there. Here, you are the center with yourself. That is this point. Are you here? Are you here in this creation? Your attention. When I say are you means what? Your attention, your focus, your obsession. Is it with your infatuation, your attention, your focus? Is it here? Ask yourself. Sit down. Ask yourself. Suppose your mind telling, my land, there is no paddy, the water is not over, there is no irrigation, there is this year so much of drought, no electricity. You are so fat, I want to lose some weight, I am so thin, I want to put on some weight. If that thought is bothering you, you are here. Suppose that person says, I want to see a sunrise, I want to watch a movie, I want to listen to the music, you are here. Somebody says, there is nothing to do. Worry. 5 years back, my father told me that my friend yesterday talking nonsense. Day of yesterday, this happened. 5 years after this will happen. You are here. Then this I thought comes and says, suppose all these are gone, I shall say, I have nothing to think about. So you are still at the thought level. But when that is not there, a thought is, you are. If the thought is not, you are there or not there. So ask yourself, where are you? In fact, this little, I am making it a pictorial presentation with no boundary. This has no boundary. As when this is not a center, this is just a putting it for reference. These things and these things all one and the same. You understand what I am talking? Did you see that? There is no boundary. Creation has a boundary. Where? Think of it. So ask yourself, every morning the first thing you get up, when you get up, first thing you think for yourself, where are you? It's very, very important, friends, very important. Because you have been listening for years, years after years, months after months, continuously listening. Will you be a listener or the truth? Should you be the listener of the truth or the truth? Should you be a speaker of the truth or the truth? Should you be the thinker of the truth or the truth? Truth by itself, there is no speech, no listening, no thought. When you drop out thus, swasmin tishtati, when you abide in yourself, automatically everything that is mystery around you drops out. You want to resolve the mystery of creation, mystery of the Creator, just resolve one mystery, that is yourself, who you are. That is why the teacher is one, that is why the scripture is one, which does not add to your mystery, but drops the person for whom everything is a mystery. The teacher is not one who adds to your mystery, gives you yet another supreme identity, special identity. Coming to this teaching, you don't become a follower of a guru, follower of a teacher, follower of a religion, follower of a tradition, but you be yourself. You don't come here to be a follower, you come here to be yourself. You understand that point? It's very, very important. Very, very important. Because this is like a spell, friends. This is like a spell. This morning I was thinking, just think, you understand spell? You understand spell? A spell is like, you must have gone through so many times in your life. There is a spell of love, infatuation. There is a spell of a misunderstanding. Okay, forget love, infatuation. Misunderstanding spell everybody must have gone through, no? How many times people would have come and told you, sorry, I should not have told you, I should not have told you. After a few days, that time the person was very happy to talk nonsense to you. After a few days, what shall he say? I'm sorry, I should not have told you that. You yourself would have gone later on, I'm so stupid, I should have never thought of like that about him, I should never have talked like that to him. But as long as you are under this spell, you don't understand. If somebody comes and tells you, hey, you should not do this, who are you to talk about it? Mind your own business. But when your spell is, misunderstanding is over, how do you feel? Yeah, what a rotten fellow I am. Why did I do that? Are you getting that? A spell. You understand that spell? Like a child, balloon is a spell. Balloon, bas. mummy, bus. Think, friends, think. All of us have been under the spell. What is that? Happiness is in the objective world. Objects make me happy. Food, a sound or a sight or a touch or a taste makes me happy. Money is my security. Job is my security. Relationship is the security. These are the spell. That is why a person is rudely shaken up when a person dies, because your world collapses. Why does your world collapse? Because that obsession, that dependence, that infatuation was your world. If that person is my world, person collapses, my world collapses. If money is my world, money collapses, my world collapses. If power and position is my world, position collapses, my world collapses. And think, friends, how many times your worlds have collapsed? Think. Very, very important, friends. Is it? This, unfortunately, the I never learns. The I is one entity, the individual is one entity, it never learns from its experiences. That is why it's so difficult to teach. You know why it is difficult to teach? To wake up somebody to himself? There are two types of obsession. One is absolute helplessness, another one is absolute arrogance. A simple person, are you getting that? He is under the spell of helplessness. I am a small man, I am a poor man, I am an ordinary person. I don't think I can understand anything ever in my life. Perpetually destroyed, permanently disabled. Even if you say, hey, you are not, you are the truth. That is not for me. I cannot. It's like a, simple things of life. It happened one day, a child was going to the camp. Somebody has written a nice little anecdote. The child was going to a camp. So, but child did not want to go to camp because he is a miserable child. Always miserable, miserable, miserable. The parents want him to go to a camp, play with friends, little distraction, so that he can feel very happy and wonderful. The child goes there. But the child doesn't want to go because she is very sort of comfortable in his own misery, in his own room, so he doesn't want to go. So the father, just to make it easy for the child, gave him a set of cards, these postcards, postal cards, and in everything it was written, I am fine, I am fine, I am fine. So it is like, baby, keep this. Every day you can just sign it up and send it to me, that you are fine in the camp. Write down, I am fine. You say, just one line you write, I am fine, and send it, just drop it in the post office. Then the child says, okay, but how do you spell miserable? How do you spell miserable? Because he has already decided he is not going to be fine. He is miserable. Some people are like that in life. They have already decided. Please understand, this is an obsession. It is a spell. Life is misery. There is no pleasure in life. There is no joy in life. Life is pain. Life is misery. The person has decided. To him, you cannot teach. Another person who is too full of himself, arrogance, total arrogance. I am a very good man. I do my duty. I do my puja. I am doing my asanas. Or I am doing my meditations. I don't need anything. To that person also you cannot teach. Who can teach me? I know everything. The person will never understand. He knows everything but doesn't know himself. That himself is a knowledge is unknown to him. This is the spell of the education. I know about the world, I know about the stars, I know about the planets, I know about the creation, I know about the disease, I know about the germs, I know about the electronics, I know everything. So, what is there for me to know? Until the spell is broken. How the spell breaks? Your world has to collapse for you to wake up. Your world has to collapse for you to wake up. Like a person was making billions and billions and billions until his only son dies or only child dies. Then what happens? Finished, recluse. For whosoever sake I was, for my son I was doing, for my wife I was doing, for my husband I was doing, for my somebody I was doing, now they are gone. So what is the idea? Finished. The world collapses. The spell gets over. So that time, shall you give him yet another spell or help him to wake up to himself? Are you getting that? It's so very important. Why people do not understand? Because it is a very strong spell. Ignorance is a very strong spell. Not only it is inherent, nascent, is something in a sense you are born with it, but also perpetuated by the humanity. You are born with it and perpetuated by the society. Father, mother, husband, wife, children, friends, everybody. Nobody tells me who I am. They are busy giving me identities. Right or wrong? With all good, noble intention, somebody educates me. Not to make me suffer. The intention is, my son should be educated. My child must be educated. My child must have more money. My child must have more security. I shall leave behind security in the bank. I shall leave behind security as a house. I leave behind security as land. See that? I will educate him so that he can have knowledge. So all these are security, but nobody plans, I must let him know about himself. Why? If the person doesn't know about himself. Nobody knows. You understand? That is why it looks like a special religious discourse. Religious, because another tragedy. Because some people inherit secular empire, industries, factories. Some people inherit spiritual empires. Next head of the president of the mutt. Next trustee of the religious organization. Next spiritual head of the organization. Promotion. Just think, friends. Think. Perpetuating the ignorance. Because nobody has a plan. Have you seen in any place, in any organization, in any sphere of study, whether religious or the secular, there is one plan, one goal. You must know about yourself also. No. You should be educated only, right? You should be educated, you should have a job, you should have money, you should have everything. Your parents plan for your entire future. Society plans for the entire future. They will take care of the physical body, medical care. Very good. Physical care, very good. Care for the environment, very good. All these are needed. But the care for the person himself. Have you seen one such planning anywhere? Even the people who are exposed to the self-knowledge, self-awareness, they are ashamed to tell their children or people also, you must know about yourself. Why? As though that is not the part of the game. Without that also person can manage. Yes, sir. Even in the ignorance of yourself, you can manage it. But life will not be a celebration. Because you shall be always under the spell of something or the other. Either your success will destroy you, or your failure will destroy you. Understand? That is why these books are something so fantastic. You cannot believe that you when a person understands the truth for himself, who is he? Unaffected by anything whatsoever in life. Tena jnana phalam praptam yogaabhyasa phalam tatha truptah swachha swachendriyah nityam ekaki yaha ramate. The person who understands this reality for himself, ekaki ramate, revels in singularity, revels in himself. Look friends, if you revel in something, you are in trouble, no? Because if that something goes away, what will happen? Day in and day out you see it in your family, no? The child is playing with the balloon. Suppose somebody takes away the balloon, what happens? Roof collapses. Take it to the child. The child will start complaining. Yesterday somebody was telling, now my baby has now he has learned to complain. When somebody took away the game, when his father came, he told the father, meaning, what is that? He has taken my game, my toys. That is his life. You complain about, somebody took away my car, somebody took away my bank balance, somebody siphoned the money, somebody broke into my house. Will the children worry about it? Suppose in your house, last night somebody has come and taken your TV, your jewelry, your money, everything gone. The 3-year, 4-year-old children, are they all sitting down with you worried? They are happily hanging around. They don't understand as to why are you sitting down like that. Even if somebody is dead, they are lying down, dead. The 3-year-old, 2-year-old, they are happy. I mean, for them, they don't understand what is life and death. Their world doesn't collapse. Because they are, when you depend on something, when that something goes away, your world collapses. Ask yourself, can you survive? Can you survive the absence of anything and everything? Can you survive in the presence of anything and everything? Ask yourself that question, friends. Because whether you like it or not, life will bring you things which you have never dreamt of, which you never thought you can have. Unwanted, unsolicited things which you never dream in your life comes. Sometimes you never expect jackpot, a windfall. Can't believe. It happens in life. Can you take it? Your physical body is absolutely healthy, you are enjoying the top of the world health. One day stomachache, go to the hospital. Check up, cancer, advanced stage. How do you feel? Wow, beautiful. Will you say? How many people? They will collapse. If you are a conscious entity, okay. That is why you enjoy living every moment. Any moment it passes, you are never unfulfilled. So many things could have been done, these things could have been done. No such stuff. People usually, what do they say? Why are you looking so worried? Why are you not spending some money and living your life now? No, I am worried about tomorrow, There are, tomorrow, who knows? Kal kisne dekha? This type of language. Kal kisne dekha? Who has seen the tomorrow? Have you seen today? Are you getting that? You are worried about unseen tomorrow. Have you seen unseen next moment? Yesterday was also one day unseen. Did you leave or no? Worry is a habit. Anxiety is a habit. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. What about today? And also, who is anxious? I, yourself, individual. Ekaki ramate yah ekaki, one who revels in himself in a singular bliss. There is no second thing. Dvayad vai bhayam bhavati. Beautiful Upanishadi declaration. Dvayad vai bhayam bhavati. The fear comes from the second thing. Very simple in English you can say. Suppose somebody says, I am afraid of what? Next question, no? Suppose you say, I am afraid. Next question, of what? There must be something, no? I am afraid. Afraid of what? Death, life, prosperity, poverty, that person, this thought, that thought, this memory, that memory. For the fear, second thing must exist. When you are all alone by yourself, who you are is the content of everything. Ekaki ramate. Or if you say, I am happy. Why? Happy with something. Again you shall be miserable. Understand? If you are happy with something, in the absence of that something, you shall be miserable. The absence of the body, possibility of the absence of the body, possibility of the absence of a thought that you like, possibility of the absence of something that you hold on to, you will be miserable. That is why who you are is something where there is neither happiness nor unhappiness. Understand. See, remember that example. The boiled egg never gives rise to a chicken. The boiled corn will not give rise to a plant. The roasted seed will not germinate. If you are roasted in the fire of knowledge, there is no question of either unhappiness or absence of unhappiness, pain or pleasure, anxiety, depression or so-called absence of it will be born out of it. Nothing. If there is a hint of anxiety, that means you are existing. It will come next verse, we shall see that. So such a person, ekaki, truptaha, contented. Ask yourself the question, am I a contented person? Happy person? Santushta? Trupta means santushta. What is santushta? Apraptam hi parityajya prapteshu samatam gataha. Adrushta kheda khedo yaha santushta iti gatyate. Who is a santushta? Who is a person who is santushta? Satisfied, fulfilled, contented. Who is that person? Apraptam hi parityajya prapteshu samatam gataha. What he has got, fully contented with it. What he doesn't have, he is not worried about it. Listen carefully. In a sense, it's a principle. I am happy as I am. I do not depend upon anything to change for me to be happy. Are you getting that point, please? I do not depend on anything to change so that I can be happy. What a thing it is. Suppose you say, I am happy as I am. Whatever thoughts I have, my body as it is, creation as it is, everything as it is, I am very happy with myself. Hey, but don't you think you should change this world? All right, change the world for world's sake, not for my happiness sake. Change the body for body's sake, not for my happiness sake. Are you getting that point, please? Change the food for food's sake, not for my happiness sake. I am happy for whatever condition prevails in life, because I am the happiness. That is the truth you very clearly see within yourself. Truptaha. Out of sheer satisfaction, contentment, you want to change something. Why? For its own sake, for better comfort in life. I am happy with the mosquitoes, but if they are not there, makes it better. I am happy with the health. By chance there is a disease, remove it. I'm not afraid of death. Listen carefully. I'm immortal. But the physical body must be maintained. Why not? Just like a car. Listen carefully, friends. It's so nice. Every moment this attitude should be there. My happiness does not my happiness does not depend upon reaching a destination. I am happy here and now in this place at this time. But I'm planning to go to Mahabalipuram. Why? For Mahabalipuram's sake. Not that I'll be happier there. I am happy here. Since I'm happy here, I'll be happy everywhere. So why not Mahabalipuram? Okay. When I'm going to Mahabalipuram, I cannot say, Mahabalipuram, I reach there. No. If I want to go to Mahabalipuram, a car is needed. I'm happy with a brand new car. I'm happy with the old car also. But a car which needs the help, where everything produces sound except the horn. Brilliant car, huh? Where every part produces noise except the horn, right? I need to maintain it. Why? So that everybody need not push it there. Not that old car is stupid. It is not very convenient. Therefore, I change it. Not for my happiness. Are you getting that point, please? Life becomes absolutely beautiful. Everything for its own sake. That language, for you to appreciate what it is, you must see yourself who you are. Bhagavan Krishna 100 times, Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Hey Arjuna, fight for fighting sake, not for happiness sake. Fight for fighting sake. Situation has demanded, therefore you have to fight. Not that because you are defeated, you will be happy or unhappy, or if you win over, you will be happy or unhappy. Your happiness, your being who you are, doesn't depend upon the result of the action. And act on in life. Why? Something has to be done. Bas. How fantastic. How fantastic. Eh? Trupta. Eternally contented. Are you a contented person? Yes. Why? But why? No reason. Nothing more achieve, nothing more to lose, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Trupta. Swachendriya. Sense organs do not go through any anxiety. Please understand, friends. Sense organs don't go through any anxiety, or I don't put the sense organs through anxiety. Are you getting that point? The mind doesn't go through anxiety, or you don't put your mind through anxiety. Right or wrong? Do you understand what I am talking? If you are speeding the car to 120 kilometers, does the car want to run that speed? You are putting speed into the car, or the car is speeding by itself for its own fun. Or else, if the car is speeding, the speeding ticket who should get? The car should get the full run in that speeding ticket. The car will not get the ticket. You are speeding the car doesn't speed by itself. The body is not restless, you drive it crazy. The sense organs are not restless, you drive the sense organs crazy. Right or wrong? Did your stomach want food? Did your tongue want to eat? You want to eat, so torture the tongue, torture the stomach, right? You want to see a movie, therefore, take the body away from the bed and keep the eyes open even if they are breaking with sleep. Who is torturing the body? Who is torturing the sense organs? Who is torturing the mind? Mind tortures you, or you torture the mind? Mind your language, okay? Please tell me, that a thought torture you, or you torture the thought? Swachendriya, meaning when you withdraw, you are happy with yourself, the sense organs will be, if that all they have a feeling, appa, no more pushed. The body also restful, no more pushed. Thoughts are also at rest, no more pushed. Creation, always at leisure. Creation, always creation. You know, when you observe life, friends, it becomes so beautiful. Think in history, imagine, in history, when you read about 1914, First World War, devastation. What is that now? 39-45, Second World War. The best Olympics, best music festivals, the prosperous kingdoms of the ancient times. History. How do you think your life shall remain as it is all times? Your worst misery shall pass. Your greatest excitement also shall pass. You are the ultimate survivor. Don't try to survive with the excitement. That will not work. Are you getting the point, please? Don't try to survive with the miseries. However much you love your misery, it will come to an end. How much you hate your misery, it will take its time to pass. Can you be yourself? Ekaki, truptaha. Oh, Swamiji, 14th, 20th year is not the age for that. Is there any time for immortality? It's like somebody asked me, Swamiji, what is the best time for meditation? I said, are you a nutcase or what? What is the best time for meditation? What is the best place for meditation? There is no best time, best place for meditation. Do you know why? Simple, sir. When you are driving your car, what is the best time for you to be alert? When you are driving a car on the highway, on the motorways, you are driving your car, what is the best time to be alert? And what is the best place to be alert? Or you should be alert at all times, all places. All times, all places. Why? Is there any time for, is there a fixed time for accident? Is there a fixed place for accident? Since there is no fixed time, fixed place for accident, there is no fixed time, fixed place for alertness. Is there any fixed time for your anxiety? Hey, 12 o'clock, all of you get ready. Anxiety is going to strike now. Night 2 o'clock, get ready. Pain and misery will be coming now. Waves of it will come now. Don't go to that seashore, you know. Anger is waiting, it will jump on you. Any time? There is no fixed time for agitation. Therefore, there is no fixed moment for meditation. You are meditation. All times, all places, alertness, understanding yourself, being yourself. And meditation is not a practice. Meditation is your being, who you are. It's a practice orientation. When shall I practice? Like when shall I practice my music? When everybody is asleep, you sing that apashruti so that everybody wakes up, right? What a suffering. You have to have a best time. Why? Everybody has gone away from the neighborhood for the office and everything. Now you make your noise as much as you like. No problem. You want to learn driving? Not between 6 o'clock morning to evening 10 o'clock. Before that, after that, road is empty, go. For practice, there are timing. Meditation is not a practice, it's being yourself. That is why even before you start that meditation, you first understand about yourself, who you are. It becomes so beautiful. And suddenly you discover, oh my God, the spell is gone. Lovely language Arjuna said, no? When Krishna asked, hey Arjuna, I told you so much. Did you understand? He said, yes, nashta moha. Delusion is over. spell is gone. Shruti labdha, I gained back the memory, meaning understand myself, I understand. The spell is over. Like a misunderstanding is a spell. You are living with a total misunderstanding about yourself. Forget your misunderstanding, your husband, your wife, your gods, your traditions, your friends, your teachers. Forget it. You are living with the biggest, the worst misunderstanding of life. What is that? Misunderstanding about yourself. Immortality, taking itself to be mortal. Absolute bliss, considering himself to be miserable. That is the biggest misunderstanding. With the touch of that misunderstanding about yourself, everything is misunderstood. With a little poison on your hand, whatever you touch is poison. Understand? How much time we spend to remove other people's misunderstanding? You cannot until the person himself is tired of that misunderstanding. Think, friends, think for yourself. The least a person can do is stop trying to change people. The least a person can do that is to stop trying to change people. They shall be who they are. They are ignorant, their ignorance shall be there. First, you be yourself. Change yourself, be yourself, who you are. The more and more you are stable with yourself, at home with yourself, untouchable, untouched, untouchable, with nothing can reach you, nothing affects you. It will be solid, strong presence. A presence that will invoke confidence in others. If that person can be, why not me? And being that, there is no pride also. Because if you are wise and you are proud, it doesn't work. Because wisdom and pride don't go together. Because what is there to be proud of? Who I am is who everybody is. Finished. Absolutely simple. So Swachha Indriya. Indriya Swachha means what? The sense organs in their own place. No more there is anxiety. The sense organs are not tormented, the thoughts are not tormented, the body is not pushed around, the creation is not pushed around. You see, are you listening to some music? I am half deaf, therefore I can listen this much. You must be listening, oh. So I am very comfortable, you are not, maybe. So who think is disturbing the atmosphere? The music. Oh, so loud music. Music is louder, the guys you are playing there, they are making it louder. Our language, are you getting that? Language, what do you say? Music is so loud, too much of traffic, stupid driving, here all these cars going such speed. Drivers, people, you add speed to your life. Nobody pushes. If you choose to with yourself, let somebody push, try. Listen, until and unless you take it onto yourself, nobody can push you. Are you getting that point, please? Day in and day out, if a person is talking that I am stupid, how can I remain unaffected? Day in and day out, I am telling you, you are wonderful, you are unaffected, right? The Brahman, the Absolute, the teacher, from all the scriptures, all the telling, Tattvamasi, Tad Brahmasi, Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhina idam yad idam iti upasate. You are the Brahman, the Absolute, not this. Continuously listening to it. You must see for yourself that nobody can push you, nobody can add speed to your life until you choose. Nityam ekagi, such a person who was thus eternally, always happy, contented with himself, with no anxiety, no pushing, no pulling, no nothing, such a person. Jnana phala praptam yoga abhyasa phalam tada. He has gained the ultimate gift of knowledge, or whatever the knowledge has to bless with, he is blessed with. Whatever the yoga abhyas has to bless with, he is blessed with. Such a jnani cha, yogi cha, bhakta cha, such a person is a wise man, jnani, yogi, bhakta. Call it whatever name you like. Yet he defies every naming, every description, with who you are, indescribable. Okay? That is because the teaching has done his job, has dropped out. Teacher has done his job, dropped out. The studentship has done its job, dropped out. All the three you should think of it, okay? I was tired of my arrogance, my success. Or I am tired of my looking down upon myself. I want to know who I am. Then only, when you are craving, you shall come back as a teacher. The teacher will bring out the teaching. When with the teacher and teaching, when this fellow who is craving, tired, drops out, the teacher automatically drops out. The teacher did not come. You brought the teacher into your life. Are you getting that point? You looking for something, you brought it into your life. But when the teacher points you out to yourself, if you are holding on to the words, what can the teacher do? When the scriptures help you to be with yourself, but you hold on to the scripture as more important, what the scripture can do? That is why when you drop out, or the moment teacher says, you are the absolute, you are wonderful, listen carefully. Ayyo, suppose the teacher says, you are the absolute, you are wonderful. Now this ego, this ahankar, which was tired, exhausted, now breathes life unto itself. Not bad. I am the happiness. Oh, pa. Everybody is telling I am a rascal, I am a rogue, I am a corrupt, I am a cheat, I am an inferiority complex, a superiority complex fellow, I am a stressed out, miserable fellow, I am an addict, I am this and that. Now somebody tells me, I am wonderful, wow, that's good. Then once you have that unconscious owning up of the information as yourself, then what happens? Then your past, what is that? If you are a crook, you want to be a better crook now. Previously I was angry, I was ashamed to be angry. Now I am angry and I have reason to be angry. Why? I am a wise man, I am angry. Oh, I see. You shall destroy yourself. This is where devils are born. Devil, that word doesn't exist in our this tradition. There is no such stuff. Even that fellow also has a chance. Please appreciate, friends. When you drop out, teacher automatically drops out. Teaching automatically drops out. God is existing. A devotee doesn't exist unless he accepts a God. Right or wrong? A guru is existing. But the disciple doesn't exist until he accepts somebody as a teacher. So many different subjects are there. There is history, there is geography, there is mathematics. Everybody, friends, please tell me, we ask everybody to opt for a career. Everybody opts for what? To be a scientist, to be an artist, to be a painter, to be a musician, to be a sports person. Anybody opts for being aware of himself? That is not in the visible planning of life. Are you getting that point? Nowhere, no school, no college, no university. Even if you go to field of religion, they don't talk about yourself, they talk about some God. This is the spell. It takes a long time to break that spell and to appreciate that I am something very important. I am somebody very important. I must know about myself. And that is not ego. That is not something which is selfish, because that is true for everybody. Every person is important for himself. And the creation is wonderful because you are existing. Unless you are there, nothing else matters. Therefore, you must know about yourself. But in the scheme of things, you just don't exist, or you are the last thing. Where do you hear? In which school, in which college, in which campus, people come and tell, you must know about yourself. It's not the part of the general, it's not the part of the average, not the part of the ordinary. It's the part of the super exclusive religious stuff. Even religion also, that is not there. For most people, taking interest in yourself means you are being selfish, self-centered. Drop out, antisocial. When will this spell end? The day you are happy with yourself, who you are, Swachha, Trupta, Nitya, Ekaki, you have gained the result of every knowledge, every pursuit. A king wants to be a king because he wants to be happy. If you are happy, you are as well a king. A renunciate wants to renounce so that he can be happy. If you are happiness itself, you are as well a renunciate. Somebody wants to be a physicist, mathematician, to discover things, do things so that he can be happy in life. If you are happy, you have as well done it. Understand? That is your basic requirement for everybody. Every human being must know about himself. Thereafter, spread out. You are interested in physics, I am interested in chemistry, somebody in mathematics, somebody driving, somebody mechanic, somebody dancing, somebody water sport. Do it all. Why? Oh, the world becomes so beautiful. You are happy, I am happy. You are happy to be a beggar, I am happy to be an engineer. You are happy to be a doctor, I am happy to be a politician. Somebody is happy to be this, sports star, somebody happy to be anything. I don't consider myself superior, neither you consider yourself inferior. When will this happen? In a teamwork, who is better, sir? In a teamwork, who is better? If the doctor says, I am the best, the anesthetologist, the surgeon says, the fellow is providing this anesthesia, what will happen? Applying that? He gives little more or less, you are dead. Nurse forgets something, dead. The person who is supplying the medicine does something wrong, dead. Anybody. Think, friends, anybody. In a teamwork, everybody is equally important. Nobody is more important, less important. It may be more, may be less. Understand? But anyone can destroy the system. The brain may be more important than the toes. But if the toes gets into gangrene, the brain dies. Listen carefully. In a teamwork, everybody is equally important. Now, body is a teamwork. Your mind is a teamwork. Your very existence is a teamwork. Consciousness, I thought, all thoughts, all the sense organs, all the sensations, all the perceptions, every part of the body and the physical universe. It's a huge team. Are you understanding? It's a huge team. Which one is better? Which one is holy? Which one is unholy? Which is godly? Which is ungodly? Which is divine? Which is mundane? When you are happy with yourself, each person happy with himself, no more you try to create inconvenience for anybody in life. That language doesn't exist for you. And when you are miserable, impossible for you to make anybody comfortable in life. When you are miserable, understand, miserable people will make everybody miserable. A child who throws a tantrum, will he make somebody happy? Unconscious behavior, look at this. A child who throws tantrum, he doesn't care what happens to others. I am the balloon. The child doesn't know that. Some grown-up babies are like that. It doesn't matter, the whole house goes crazy. But I must be alcoholic. What can you do? Everything only happens outside, inside you also. Every thought is beautiful. One thought, you are a slave of one thought. I must drink. Power mad, position mad, honor mad, importance mad. Everybody must give me importance, even though you are an idiot. Everybody must respect me, even though you don't deserve anything. Everybody must say I am a wise man, even though you are totally otherwise. Stupid. Understand? One expectation can completely destroy you. Ask yourself. That is why have a full picture inside of yourself, who you are. Truptaha. Are you truptaha? Satisfied, contented. There is no such thing on which I am dependent to be better than who I am. In fact, I am somebody, something which cannot be bettered. Infinity cannot be bettered. Immortality cannot be extended. There is an extension of mortality. There is no extension of immortality. Always there. Sensations can be increased. Happiness is not increased or decreased. Perceptions can be varied. Happiness is same. Thoughts can change. Self ever the same. Okay, therefore, na kadachit jagati asmin tattvagya hanta khidyati. Underline that. Underline that in your brain, underline in your book, write it down on your board. In your house, if there is anything you want to write down, write this, because you are a self-knowledge student. You are interested in understanding about yourself. Write down this line in a big board in your right. Na kadachit jagati asmine tattvagya hanta khidyati. Hanta, indeed, asmin jagati, in this universe, in this jagat, in this universe, first translation, in this universe, na kadachit, never ever. Na kadachit, never ever at any time. Na kutrachit, kadachit means kutrachit also. Time and space go together. Na kadachit, na kutrachit, never at any time, nowhere at any place, tattvagya, one who is aware of the tattva, the reality of himself, khidyati, ever feels disheartened, miserable, unhappy, any time. There is no kheda. Kheda means, you know what? Anxiety, kheda. Oh, I didn't have this. Why did the person talk like that? Why this disease should come? Why that should happen? This is known as kheda. Are you getting that? Kheda. Kheda means complaints. Continuous. This should not have happened. That should not have happened. So you know better than the universe, right? This should not have happened. Then you should not have been there at all, no? Right? For you, for something not to have happened to you, first you should not have been there, no? Do you understand that very complicated statement? Huh? Your intelligence, you understand? For something not to happen to you, that something should not be there or you should not be there. That something will be always there. Rain will come, summer will come, traffic jam will be there, heat will be there, cold wave will be there, idiots will be there, rogues will be there, beautiful people will be there, everything will be there. But for something not to happen to you in particular, who should not be there? You should not be there, or nothing else should be there? You should not be there, right? Yes. When you say you should not be there, don't be frightened like a stupid man. When I say you should not be there, don't say your body should not be there, your thought should not be there. The I thought, ego should not. When that is not there, you are with yourself who you are. And once you are with yourself, let it be there also. What is wrong? Just because one little thought, can a little thought counteract infinity? Like telling the wave hides the ocean of water. Oh, some wave it must be. Huh? The thought doesn't hide the consciousness. The I thought feels hidden by the thought. Right or wrong? How many things I can do? Don't sit down there and be collector of the nuggets. Be the gold mine. Collecting few wonderful thoughts means nothing. Quoting some wonderful thought means nothing. It's like living on borrowed gold. You are the gold mine. And this is the line. Na kadachit. Even the spider has understood. What is that boy? Pali. The lizard also has understood now. Even the lizard is enlightened now. Imagine. No, friends. Asmin jagati. Jagat. What is this word? Jagat. Jagat means ja, ga, tu. 3 letters are ja. Jayate iti ja. Gacchati ga. Tisthati iba tu. When you say Jagat, universe, which is continuously born, moves in between, Tisthati iba, as though existing, Jayate. Now this moment, born, Gacchati, moves, Tisthati iba, as though existing, already gone, eh? Are you getting that point? This is Jagat. What a name! Universe means what? Another word, Jagat, that which born, moving, in between, as though existing for it. In fact, it is not existing. Continuous change. Therefore, what changes is going to come, do you know? Since you don't know, why kheda, why anxiety? You are not there. In fact, if there is a little hint of an anxiety or a complaint, you are there. Hey, look, simple thing you see. Have you done fishing any time? You have not done anyway. It doesn't matter fishing. You can understand the example, as they say, because I am not married, have I not gone on marriage or what? Okay, like that. You see, Bharat mein to gaya hai na, so you have gone in marriage party. You know, fishing or not. But you can understand the example. When we are children, in village, you take a rod and then drop it and then something. You are not supposed to do it, so the teacher comes and hits you, then everybody hits you. It doesn't matter. So one day, I remember clearly, there was a pond. Then one friend said, they knew, there is no fish there, why do you want to put it there? Nothing, no fish, why are you sitting there? But this fellow goes and put there. And when you know there is no fish, if the bait comes out as it is, you put it for 2 hours also, not a single bite, the whole thing comes out as it is. Then you know there is no fish. Suppose you put it and the bait is gone. That means what? There is fish, but you could not catch it, right? Because if there is no fish, who can take the bait? Now these situations in life, God's bait, the creation's bait, the universe's bait to the fish, individuals you are. Suppose you are not there. The bait passes. How long can it be there? How long a moment can last? Swamiji, how long a moment can last is one thing, but disease can last at a time 10 years or moment by moment. A moment by moment, right? So, you live with yourself who you are. Take care of the disease if you feel like. But that anxiety, don't bite that anxiety. Nobody tells you not to take care of the body. What Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, karmanyeva adhikaraste, te karmanyeva adhikara. You have a full freedom, full right over your action. Ma phaleshu kadachan. Over the result of the action, you have absolutely no control. You plant one mango, you may get, as they say, you plant the wind, you shall reap a whirlwind. That can happen. You plant something, you start something else can come out of it. It may come out of it. Because the phala over which you have absolutely no control. I will go to college, I will be educated, I will go. Now, just imagine. Yesterday for yesterday that Salem. That girl who went up, adventure sport. She enjoyed it the first day, the fall. Second day, she wants to have that adrenaline. So nice. 3,000 feet free fall. Thereafter the chute must open. Did not open. Did she know that? Did they plan? We'll go there. We'll go there top, then the 3,000 feet not open. Nice day. Do you plan? I'll get married. I'll have 2 children. They'll be like that? No. You marry. Child children coming. What happens to them? After 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, one may be drug addict, one is stupid, one is disobedient, other is disloyal, other is treacherous, other is cheating, one is wonderful. Did you plan it? Did you decide what type of child will come to your life? Think, friends, did you decide what type of child will come to your life? Since I don't know what type of children will come to my life, therefore I will not have any children. That is stupidity. If you decide that also is fine, but don't worry, then later on I should have married, I should have had children. Stop. Karmanyeva adhikara. You have full freedom over your action. But from that, what is going to come, we do not know. Shall you die with the consequences or shall you survive? Self-knowledge, understanding of yourself is ultimate survival. No death can touch it, no time can smother it. Nothing can confine it, nothing can limit it. It limits everything in its infinity, limitless embrace. Nothing limits the space. The space is not housed, the house is spaced. Do you understand the language? The space is not housed. You cannot house the space. You cannot confine the space. The house is spaced. House will go away. The space will continue. Body, understand. Immortal cannot be mortal. mortal is immortalized. What you see as mortality is a dance of immortality. Therefore, na kada asmin tattvagya janati gyaha, one who knows, is himself. Tattvam janati, knows the reality. Tat, tattvam, tat means reality. Tattvam, that who is the nature of the reality. Tat, that call it Ishvara, call it truth, call it God, call it self, whichever language you like. One who knows the truth of himself. Na khidhyati, never ever anxious. Kadachit, kutrachit, nowhere, no times. Now ask yourself the question. Swami, those days I was getting very affected. Now, for the last 20 years I am listening. Sometime. So, it's very good. Therefore, if you are sometime, think of that. When you say your mistake, sometime. Other people's mistake, always. You are, sometimes I get a little angry. That is always angry, Achha, what is the difference between sometimes angry and always angry? When you are sometimes angry, you are as dangerous as when a person is. Rather, when you are sometimes angry, you have got a, sort of a spiritual sanction, very enlightened sanction about your anger. That is why you are more dangerous. Fellow is always angry, you can tell him. And he shall say, yes, I am a short-tempered fellow, what to do? He accepts it. What shall you say? I know what I am doing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. If you know what you are doing, then why are you miserable? No, I am being miserable. I am consciously miserable. Then why are you getting worked up? The more you question, the more the fellow gets worked up. You understand? If you can get worked up, and in reality, why is in reality? Because to a free person, you have no business to say, don't get worked up. He can also pretend to get worked up. But if you only know inside where you are playing a role or you are in the role. That is why passing judgment on anybody is such a stupid pastime. You look at yourself. Na kutrachit, na kadachit. At no time, no places. The person shall be ever feel affected in life. Why is it so? Yataha, because tena ekena idam brahmanda mandalam purnam. By him, one, tena ekena, by that one all-pervasive reality, idam brahmanda mandalam purnam, this whole cosmic universal existence is filled. There is nothing other than it. Who I am is who everything is. The essence of me is the essence of everything. That which is everywhere is here. That which is here is everywhere. Nobody is superior to me, nobody is inferior to me. I am not inferior to anybody, is not superior to anybody. Therefore, no sense of arrogance or despicable, desperate humility. Very defeating. I am so small. When somebody says, I am a very small man, you think the person is being very humble. Maybe he is speaking the truth. He is crying. Why is he crying? Because he is humble? Or because he doesn't know that he can be all-pervasive? Helplessness. How do you know? Like in that Ramayana Katha, In Ramayana Katha, the Ramayana Kathakar were telling the story of Rama going to forest. And here, Sita crying, everybody is crying, the Ayodhyavasi crying, everybody is crying. And there was an old lady also on the back. You call it old lady. Nowadays you can't say old lady or old man. You better say old man, old person. If you old man also means, why are you telling masculine? You are pulling down the female, you are pulling down the male. The whole you don't know what language to talk now anymore. Because it's all gender oriented now. You have no business to look down upon women or men. Then what language shall you say? Old person. Okay. So an old person was sitting down there and was crying and crying and crying. And this Kathakar was absolutely impressed. Man, this talk has been absolutely touching. Look at this person, breaking down with emotions. Oof. When that whole Katha was over, everybody slowly going away, and the old man sitting down there, the old person sitting down there, and still, he called the person. Now shall I say him or her? What a headache. Anyway, you understand, whatever you understand, please don't put me into trouble, okay? So, the person is called, and he asked the person, you can't say him or her anymore. Is there any general pronoun now? Like a person is a general noun, is there a general pronoun? Then these people should create, no. Because if you say him, you are targeting the male folk. If you say her, you are targeting the female folk. So what is the common pronoun? Please give me one. Somebody should, his, her. So sir, maybe say make it sir, S-E-R. S-E-R, something like that. Or RIS, R-I-S, something like that. Something should be done, or else you will be in trouble now, yeah, it's a headache. Anyway, so he asked sir, okay, S-E-R. He asked the person, so nice, you really enjoyed it. Your heart is touched. You really understood what Rama was going through. He said, no son, I didn't really understand what you talked about, because I am not that educated. I had lost my billy goat, who had the beard. When you are talking like that, your beard was going up and down. And I remembered my goat, and I have been crying. This much for your humility. Humble people crying, whether it is crying like a devotee. Just because an action of devotion, it doesn't make you a devotee. Are you getting that? Action of devotion makes you a devotee. Just because a person worships in the temple, he goes there and does all the puja performance. Shall you call him a devotee? He is paid for the work. Just because somebody is singing, listen carefully. Tyagaraja was enlightened, a bhakta. And he wrote. But singing his song, you don't become Tyagaraja. He was a devotee, he was a wise man, he sang. By singing, you don't become a devotee. Listen carefully. Just by talking, you don't become a wise man. It's very, very important. So that sense of superiority, inferiority completely disappears. Then ekena, by one, the truth himself, everything is pervaded. Therefore, you don't see anybody inferior, superior, better, worse. Everybody is beautiful, everybody is divine, everybody is nice. You don't have that, caste, creed, sex, race, religion, nationality, all these differences. One undifferentiated absolute, you see that. You understand the spell? I'm a superior caste. I'm superior sex. Male, I'm male. Female. Or matriarchal society. Matriarchal. These boys are different types of Spells have been cast. You understand? Growing up means what? Growing up already with the original spell of ignorance, these are little tributaries. So many different types of spells comes up. Difficult to break it all until you break the solid one. Which one? Individuality. I. You break it, suddenly the spell of caste, creed, sex, race will automatically disappear. Because I am no more there to feel helpless, to hold on to something, to feel important. Are you getting that point, please? When I am happy with myself, contented with myself, pleased with myself being who I am, I don't want to change. Are you getting that? I don't want to be different. Who I am is so interesting, I don't want to be somebody else. Have you found that? Who is bored in life? What I am doing is so uninteresting that I want to do that. Who is pleased in life? What I am doing is so interesting, I don't want to change my profession. So who I am is so interesting. Satchidanandoham, absolute awareness, bliss that I am. So interesting. I don't want to be anybody else. When you don't find yourself who you are, you want to be somebody. What is that? Drag the identity of the body. I'm fair, or dark, or young, or this lineage. My father was like that. My 3 generations before, 10 generations before. My root goes back to 790. My great is an aunt story now. Great. Yeah, go. Right? He was the prince of Timbuktu. Right. So, I'm royal. God bless you. How much people do that? Think. Why? Who looks for this type of dragging? Not contented with himself. Your present is so miserable, you look for the past for some glory or project into some future some glory. Present, miserable. But who you are is so fantastic. Aham vrukshasya reriva. I am the vrukshasya, samsara vrukshasya palayita. I am the one, the protector of the samsara vruksha. This whole universe is sustained by me. Look at through your body, you are part of this universe. Look at the standpoint of yourself, the whole universe rolls in all pervasiveness. Am I the only one? Everybody is there. You are the ocean and you are the wave. Such a person, tena ekena idam purnam, full and complete. Brahmanda mandalam, the whole universe, the macrocosmic universe, gross, subtle, causal, everything is filled with it. In fact, friends, nobody can escape the touch of immortality. You are it. Even if you don't know it, you are it. The earlier you are tired of your limitation, the better it is, so that you go into limitlessness. One who is comfortable with his limitation or condemned to limitation, both ways. Comfortable with limitation because arrogance, I am successful. That identity, I am a PhD, I am a managing director, I am the rich man. These powerful positions are so seductive. Person gets addicted to that. Wherever you go, sir, that person cannot be left alone. The day he drops out of the job, he shall be dead. Or the person who is totally self-condemning. I am so ordinary. No. Earlier you are tired of your limitation, your helplessness, or your obsession with a little achievement. Better it is, so that you move into limitlessness. And thereafter, helplessness is as beautiful Ajivan your confidence. What is wrong in feeling helpless? After all, am I not helpless? Yesterday I was watching one documentary, the amazing moments, you know. Oh God, you should have seen. There was a ship, this cruise ship, almost thousands of people inside that. And suddenly water starts hitting in. Nobody near. They phone up. One ship responds to that distress call. They're coming. And they far away from this town, so some helicopters start coming. Some, not 1,000, 200, exactly 276 people are inside that. And they all have come to the deck. It has started sinking. Water is pouring in. I mean, it's like a thrill, you look at it. Then only in those countries they can survive. One helicopter comes, two people they lift. 6 helicopter is on the way. Then another ship comes, he brings in. One fellow drops, these divers jump into that, picks him up. Surprisingly, 4 or 5 hours it took for the big ship to sink. In 4 or 5 hours, everybody escapes. They survive to tell the best. They could have died, no? Think of in life, if you survive, death don't mean only dying with the body. You survive the death of a person around, death of a job, death of a relationship, death of an image, death of a position, but you survive to tell about it. Who is the strongest? The survivor or the disaster? If you survive the disaster, who is strong? And this is the self-knowledge, self-awareness. You survive every so-called change, death, end, disaster. It may be comfortable one, it may be uncomfortable one, but you pass on. You shall survive the youth, you shall survive the old age. You will survive the health, you shall survive the disease. Tasmat. Therefore, kadachit, at no time, morning, evening, midday, midnight, waking, dream, deep sleep, childhood, youth, old age, kadachit, past, present, future. Or kutrachit, here, there, everywhere. Na khideti. The person never complains. Don't say, therefore, those who complain are not wise men. Shut it up. Opposite is not the truth, because infinity doesn't have an opposition. If you are infinity, you can complain also. But you know whether you are complaining or not complaining. This little statement can be a great relief for an egoist, an individuality, who is simply sitting there. Oh, yes. So, infinity doesn't brook opposition. It adds everything onto itself. Everything is in it, infinity. So, complaining person, infinity doesn't complain, but a complaining person doesn't cease to be infinity. So, I sometimes complain, so what is that? You understand? So crafty. You have to be, that is why, vapoho vichakshana. In Vivekchudamani comes, your mind should be sharp as the razor says. The moment there is a hint of compromise, you get up. Others don't have to point it out. You wake up. Hey, am I coming under the spell of it? No. I am the space. Tena Brahmanamala. Such a person. Read it. Is our time already? Okay, just read tomorrow itself. No, tomorrow, next Saturday. न जातु विषया केपि स्वारामं हर्षयन्त्यमी सल्लकी पल्लव प्रीतम इवेभं निम्ब पल्लवाः यस्तु भोगेषु भुक्तेषु नवभत्यधिभाषिता अभुक्तेषु निराकाङ्क्षी तादृशो भवदुर्लभः. Amazing verses, we shall see in next class. Just out of the world. You cannot be, the beauty of it is ramifications. You understand? The nuances, infinite nuances of this wisdom. You are shaken from every direction. You are not allowed to sit down with some type of a petty conclusion. Everything is fine, yet nothing is fine. The person remains happy with himself. Thereafter, the relative thoughts, body, world, creation, how exactly it is, it makes no difference to him. Yet, he can be fully focused on it. This is where people will not appreciate. How is there contradictions? The person who doesn't see that, he shall perhaps like the language of renunciation, but not the language of celebration. Somebody likes the language of celebration, doesn't like the language of renunciation. That is why you are in trouble. You renounce, you stand apart from everything, some people praise you. You be with something, some other people praise you. You stand apart from something, some people hate you. You be with everything, some people will hate you. What will you do? That is why don't wait to be appreciated or worshipped by people. Be yourself. Very, very important, because, listen carefully, when you see, you hear, you experience things, living your life very honestly, clearly, you only know what exactly you are doing. Is it backed by wisdom or obsession? Just an action of devotion doesn't make you a devotee. Just because somebody is building a temple, it doesn't make him a pious person. Just because somebody is cutting a body open, doesn't make him a murderer. He can be a doctor also. Or he can be a soldier also. Just because somebody is picking up few grasses here and there, it doesn't make him a gardener. Just to impress you, so as you are coming in, to impress you that somebody is working, the moment some people are coming, bend down and pick up some grass. Oh, your garden is beautiful. Yes. I've been doing it once in a while. How long? 2 seconds. 2 minutes. Before you came only, I bent down. That doesn't make you a gardener. It's like a person who gives helping hand in the kitchen. What is that? Cuts the vegetable for 2 seconds. We cook. Oh, really? You must have cooked. Helping hand in the kitchen. Not even the garbage to be thrown. No. Great help. Understand? As even an act of devotion doesn't make you a devotee. These actions which people have compartmentalized, bifurcated, divided, as what? Named, branded. These are good actions, these are bad actions. Somebody can show you those good actions, but inside can be a criminal. Another person may be doing one of those so-called bad, so-called bad actions, but the person can be absolutely wonderful. How do you know that? Only you can see for yourself. That is why when you stop judging people, you are absolutely at peace with yourself. Absolutely at peace with yourself, because you are totally clear about who you are. What a relief! And such a person, najatu vishaya kepi swaramam harshayanti ami. Swaramam means one who is swasmin ramate, one who revels in himself. Swaram, atmaramam, atmani ramate, atmaramam, revels in himself, always happy with himself. Such a person, vishaya kopi na harshayanti ami vishayaha, these vishaya means sense objects. Vishaya, all that is sense objects, sound, touch, taste, smell, taste, all these thoughts or everything, na harshayanti, doesn't give him any pleasure, neither give him any pain, doesn't give any pleasure. Meaning, listen carefully, he is so happy with himself, it is like an elephant. Shallaki pallava pritam nimba pallava iva. The elephant who is feasting on Shallaki Pallava, the Shallaki Pallava, one particular tree in the jungle, like a palm, big palm. The elephants love to eat that palm. When the elephant has been eating all that, will he look at the neem leaf? That does not mean neem leaf should not be there. Neem leaf is there, but he is not interested because contented with the best leaf. When a person is happy with himself, will he be interested to look for happiness in the object? If he looks for the object, it is more for its own sake than for happiness' sake. Will you understand that? I am happy with myself. What food shall I take? Any food will do. Rice and rasam, best in the universe. 100-course dinner, best in the universe. Feasting, super. Fasting, excellent. What do you do with that guy? Everything is good. Because his happiness doesn't depend upon, today only Tairi Shadam. No. Who will say that? Whose happiness is only in the food. If this food is not available, I am miserable. If this person is not there, I am miserable. It will all come. Next class we shall see amazing things. When one is happy with himself, that is why such a person doesn't precipitate any type of crisis in life. When a crisis is precipitated, you told me, Swamiji, take this flower. I said, no, lotus. Just lotus. This flower? No. Now I put into trouble, now you have to go and look for a lotus. Or, why did you bring this flower? But suppose you put this flower. Hey, this is the best flower in the world. Where from you got it? You are thrilled. Suppose no flower is there. Don't even miss it. We have people who are with self-importance, people who are very orientation is towards, I am very important, that guys. You don't greet them, they will go crazy. They will go crazy. As though I don't exist here. Huh? Do you know you exist? Yes, that should be enough. Why should others should know that you are existing? When you are ignored, you should be the happiest person in the world. Why? The life runs without me. Wow! Are you getting that point? It's so nice. The marriage is over without me. The functions are over without me. It's so fantastic. I am no more needed. That's what it will be when your body is dead, right or wrong? So that is happening before your death. So sweet. But people are so particular. They will keep tab. Oh, marriage there. Oh, marriage invitation has not come. So if it not come, then what shall you say? What type of marriage? God only knows who is marrying whom. You don't know, Gossip. Why? Because you are not invited. Suppose you are invited, prince. Prince is getting married. Yes, because I am the guest of the prince. You understand? When you are happy with yourself, Shallaki Pallavaiva, like the elephant is so comfortable with the particular palm leaf, it doesn't look at neem tree, let it be there. You are so happy with yourself, you just live through life as it is. Everything is excellent because I am excellent. Never precipitate a situation in life. We'll talk about it more next time. Please think of it. Close your eyes. That's what your taste is. As much comfortable listening to this, that much at rest when there is nothing to listen to. Because who you are is not the product of somebody's teaching or the revelation of the scriptures. You are always there, words or no words, classes, no classes, books, no books. Just be that. Thank you, friends.